Hi everyone and welcome back to winter of Series 14 in Forza Horizon 5. This is the real mechanic, the last seasonal championship I still didn't do. I did do, but the footage was broken, so I had to do it again. So this one is a street racing in classic muscle in C-Class, and yeah, just similar to the D-Class challenge, where D-Class is dominated by power builds and meme cars. I had a similar problem with the C-Class here, because all the best in terms of fastest on the lap tunes that I know of that fall into classic muscle and in C-Class are really crazy power builds, well in excess of 1000 horsepower. It's very hard to drive. I can't drive them without traction control, and I know there's plenty of aliens who can drive it and really proper, but I just cannot. But with traction control I'm still faster than any non-power build. So obviously this is not something I could recommend, because when I tried once, I did use the power build car in a seasonal championship, and I received a ton of comments on both YouTube and off YouTube that, hey man, what did you do? That tune was horrible, impossible to drive, what the hell, the kind of a trash is it? So I'm obviously not planning to do that again. So I had to find something in between that is reasonably fast, gives you an easy win over the AI, hopefully over your teammates as well, but at the same time is drivable by the person of average or below average driving skill without actually ending up outside of every single corner. And this is street racing, so you can't even wall ride it. You absolutely have to actually race it. So this is how I arrived in this Buick. It's still a rear wheel drive build, but it is easy to drive. It is very forgiving if you give it too much power. It basically just generates a lot of wheel spin, but it doesn't spin you out. It doesn't start sliding. But it looks like I'm not the only one who was on the edge and had difficulty selecting the car for this championship, because as you can see, I'm now slowing all of the AIs down. At least I'm trying to, because my teammates have difficulty to catch up. Now one is going up the ranks, Joel, okay, so I can finally speed up and actually proceed with driving. But yeah, this Buick with a tune by LogikJ is a good middle ground. It is simple to drive. I don't think my teammate Joel understood what I was doing there. I guess he just thought that he suddenly became much faster and caught up with all of the AIs, past them all by himself, and now was attacking me. But he was way too optimistic coming into that corner. The corner is also quite known on this track to collect its fair share of victims who fly out of it and then end up straight in the building, just like my teammate did this. But luckily the other teammate didn't do such a mistake, and therefore we have 1-2 with a 4-people lobby. That is a guaranteed win regardless of where everybody else finishes. So we can safely drive to the end, which we are approaching just about now. As you can see, AIs are not even a concern. I'm not even sure at which point of the race I passed all of them, but that definitely wasn't difficult at all. The one thing I want to mention is you still need to exercise some sort of throttle control, but again, it's very forgiving to it. Now, right, we won the first race. We'll go to the second one and expect the same result. Just really hoping that I won't have to slow AIs down. On street racing, it's always a little bit dangerous though. This is the rare case when NPC traffic actually helps, because as you are slowing down, you see them much better than in regular racing conditions, and you can actually line your car in a way that when AI attempts to overtake you, they will slam straight into the upcoming traffic. So that's kind of good use of it. But yeah, so the second race, as you can see, 8% of the race we are ahead of all of the AIs, all of my teammates. Scoring so far doesn't look, well, looks a bit close, but yeah, let's drive it a little bit. Yeah, there's one teammate that is progressing through the ranks, so that is good. That gives me some breathing space and not having to look behind me all the time and seeing where the AI is. I'm still driving super carefully. I'm braking a little bit earlier than I normally would, and a little bit not harder. I don't lock it up, but as you can see, I'm very careful through the corners. That is just to make sure that if I have to suddenly slow down dramatically and keep AIs at bay, I still have space to do so, because obviously if I'm half a track ahead, then slowing down is not really an option, because by the time they catch up, the race is over. But I think we are reasonably safe now, even if somebody misses a checkpoint. Yeah, we'll just drive it to the end, halfway through the second race. To be honest, I'm not even sure if anybody's gonna see it, and I can't blame you. I mean, this may have been the most boring season in a year's history of Forza Horizon 5, at least in my memory. Maybe that's super subjective, and maybe I just reached a point, you know, after a year of doing the seasonal challenges, where the repetition of more of the same just caught up with me. But I usually try to, you know, not bother myself with the grand picture of new content and so on, and just keep doing what I feel is fun. And normally racing co-op races like this, where your main target is be ahead of the AI, but your sub target or secondary mission is actually fight your teammates in a nicest possible way, where you don't have to be all elbows. I find joy in it. I still do. That definitely didn't burn out, but there's just something about this week's challenges, or lack of challenge whatsoever. I don't think there was anything remotely hard in this week's festival playlist, which probably contributed to the boredom. Yeah, anyways, that's the end of this championship and the end of my mini rant about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.